Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. A big welcome back carry for David Johnson, who almost missed all of last year. And he'll get this one up to the 26. The tackle is made by Adoree Jackson.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, Johnson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent game, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Second down, Fitzpatrick. He's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain at 21 yards. The first down carry here for Johnson. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on third and just a yard.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
A first down throw for Fitzpatrick. And he slings one that's incomplete. Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves him needing a conversion here on third and a tough 9. Working out of the gun, Fitzpatrick. And down he goes. Fitzpatrick sacked. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
There's Leonard Fournette, 1,000-yard rusher from a year ago. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
Where you think 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. It's almost a tendency breaker.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to wind up in there. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. And, yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds mulling over what the penalty
I don't
would
even
do
know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Boswell good with the extra point. The first half update now from Philadelphia. And the Eagles out in front early. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL.
Well, you gave up the first touchdown of the game, but how about the response? Big-time return. Now it's their chance to try and put points on the board.
Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Robert Kimdichie, the one to bring him down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. Johnson. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter. Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. They'll try to throw here. Fitzpatrick. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Demaryius Thomas, his first touchdown on the year. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Gold with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Snap coming at 1, and it's Mahomes. Steps away to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep left. He's got a man, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A gain of 32 that time. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
On 3rd down, Fournette. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. Sheds off the tackle, and that is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Buccaneers defense holds, and they get the football back. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And they had the touchdown during the last drive, and I'm guessing that you like the balance they had on that last drive.
And I loved it. Forget liking it. Absolutely love what they were doing, because to be ahead of a defense that much, where every play call you have, run or pass, is working pretty well for you.
Makes you look like a genius.
It really does. It also lets you know that your preparation was pretty good, and now the defense has to do all the adjusting.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. now on second down. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Third and long, Fitzpatrick following the sack. What can he and the gang come up with? From the gun, Fitzpatrick. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit. They're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. A good pickup there at 22. First down now, but that clock rolling. Fournette, a first down carry. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Mahomes to throw on second down. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for first and 10. First down, Mahomes. Buying time to his left. His throw caught right around the 6. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. 23 yards on the play. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he takes this one in for a Browns score. Chris Thompson, as the first half is winding down, and the Browns are able to cash in for 6. Boswell for the extra point. Extra point put through by Boswell, and that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
An incomplete, crisis averted, almost picked. Instead, second down. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Force. 3. 3.
Final play of the half, Fitzpatrick. Bringing it in, Jackson left side. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They fake the give. Now Mahomes escaping the pressure right. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. Find him. Find him.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. Touchdown, Tampa Bay! David Johnson, 76 yards. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and we are tied at 14. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Trying to get the run game going. This is Fournette. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Muhammad Wilkerson elevated a Temple program that was looking for players like him, and he's carried that on into the NFL. What a terrific play there.
Yeah, a nice tackle for loss for the former Temple Owl, as you said, and the 30th pick in the 2011. Pressure up the middle, and down he goes.
So what's the word I'm looking for here about how this drive just started?
Disjointed?
I'll go with that one. I mean, think about it. First down, took a bad loss on a running play. Take the sack on second down. Now they got to look at something big here on third.
Going to need better protection here. Third and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Forced out to his left. And that is incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was third and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
So out come the Bucs now. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Johnson, and he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple.
Hey, alert three. Force. 3.
Now a 2nd down throw for Fitzpatrick. It's complete to his tight end, Charles Clay. First target, first catch, and a first down.
That was a route run, not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and put the down marker back to 1.
3. Force. Under.
First down, Fitzpatrick. Room to run past midfield. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Jackson. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Force.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They go to Johnson again. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Force. 3. Force.
From the shotgun, it's Fitzpatrick. Looking for his receiver, sharp, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off, actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. The Browns on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7. Throwing now is Mahomes, being chased out left. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. And the Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Again, it's Johnson. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Now Fitzpatrick. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Carl Nassib in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Well, 7 yards on the carry there, but now they're staring at 4th down. Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. Operating from the gun, Fitzpatrick. It's caught, Shepard. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. How about them biting off 15 yards there on the 4th down attempt and keeping the drive alive? Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. They pitch it out to Johnson. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd in just about a few inches here.
This defense needs a big play in the worst way, because so far, they're not putting up much of a fight. If they don't get a stop here soon, this game could be over for them.
They Try the left side with Johnson. Oh, now he bowls him over. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Oftentimes when a guy has a game like this, he's going to take his offensive line out to dinner afterwards. But after a play like that, he may tell them, instead of getting the steaks, guys, we might have to go for the hot dogs.
The Bucs on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. So he got free at one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. And now the Browns are going to take another timeout as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. Again, the offense will stay out there. They've converted once on this drive. What can they do here on 4th down? Here we go with Johnson. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. Touchdown, Tampa Bay! David Johnson, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bucs are going to take the lead.
And that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking, there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now, on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage. And when you're facing a deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game, and that's the spark that they were looking for. They got it with that big return.
And now the Browns coming out on the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
They'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. He was unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
He'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. 3rd and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure. If you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback, and then make sure you blanket the field.
He's back to throw. And he's got a man, Corey Davis. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Back to throw. Now desperation throw deep downfield. And he's unable to haul it in. So it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field. And that brings up fourth. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the second quarter, he may very well run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. The Buccaneers in good field position here to start out 1st and 10. Victory formation now for the Buccaneers. Down to a knee they go. Victory formation now for the Buccaneers. Down to a knee they go. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Tampa Bay, they remain as hot as anyone at 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Heinz Field to take on